Hello, my friends. Welcome back to our empowering healing space for sensitive people. Today, we're gathered here to talk about the full moon in Gemini. It is going to be happening on the 4th of December 2025, and it's really going to be around the big theme and the big question of how is it that you have been silenced or made feel small or made feel uncomfortable or unsafe to be yourself, and how are you shifting out of that? How are you using your voice, your expression? It may not necessarily be your voice, but other types of expressing virtues in order to let yourself be free from all of those conditionings. And so if you want to know more about this full moon, stick around. First of all, the full moon is going to be happening in Gemini in 13 degrees of Gemini. Gemini is the sign of expression, of emotional honesty, and really acting and expressing yourself in the world through emotion and using that as fuel in order to express yourself. And at 13 degrees, this full moon is going to be really highlighting huge transformation processes. The 13th degree in astrology is naturally a critical degree, and it is associated to the cycles of death and rebirth. And so all of this helps us to read into the energy and realize that the full moon in Gemini is going to be really about how you choose to free yourself and to start a new cycle in terms of using your voice and expressing yourself freely into the world, and doing that via your emotions. So what is going to really be conducting this huge transformative process is going to be how you feel, how you, the emotions that you have and the input that you take in, and how that feels in your body, sensations or emotions in general. And as with a lot of the lunations that have been happening in the second half of the year, this full moon in Gemini is going to have a lot of oppositions and a really important square aspect. The main opposition is naturally the opposition between the moon and the sun being right now in Sagittarius. Sagittarius is a really free spirit, a very adventurous spirit, one that wants to always change, always move, always go in different directions and adventures that will help you to develop your character or have a deeper philosophy of life. And so the Gemini moon opposing that, it really may highlight where you may feel stuck and unable to move forward in an authentic way in terms of how you feel emotionally. And so there is this natural need to seek a balance between your environment right now, where you are right now, and where you want to be. It's going to be helping you to conciliate the two. And so there is this really deep need to have some rest time. Round full moons in general, we should be resting and not engaging in a lot of activities, and definitely not doing a lot of rituals. But in this full moon especially, because the energy is very steamy, very, there's fire and air interacting in the cosmos, and that can create a lot of illusion, a lot of cloudiness, a lot of steaminess. Things may be murky and not so easy to understand. And so there is this really big need for you to rest right now, to journal, and to try to figure out how to get from point A to point B. You may be where you are right now, and all of the things that you have done until now have got you to this situation, but now you want to move to a different place with this opposition between the sun and the moon. And so how can you make that link between the 2 points? What are the activities, the personality traits, the habits, the things that you need to consume, to output, to express, to feel, to observe via meditation or any other practice, that is going to help you to get from one point to the other. There is also a really deep process of faith going on as well. I want to point that out. Sagittarius is a sign of faith, and so there may be the need to balance or to bring in some sort of prayer into your practices. So using your voice in order to tap into the divine and speak to the divine, whatever you consider to be the divine energy, and connecting to that energy in order to help you give the necessary steps, in a way channel or understand from a mental perspective that thing that you need to be doing in order to get from point A to point B. The Gemini moon is also going to be opposing Venus in Sagittarius and Mars in Sagittarius. So this is the divine feminine and divine masculine energies, both in the free-spirited Sagittarius adventurer energy, opposing the energetic of the Gemini moon, which just wants to engage, just wants to do things in a different way and have a lot of experiences as well, but also do that in a more stable, rather, way. A lot of Sagittarius oppositions going on to Gemini right here. And this is the energetic of wanting to spontaneously change your environment, wanting to spontaneously leave, go on a world trip or a trip around the world, go move to another city. This energy of just needing things to change and needing things to be different than they are right now. And so the way that this may manifest in your reality may be a sudden urge to move, or even in your love life, it can manifest as somebody new coming in that is unexpected, that is seemingly out of the blue, somebody who is there to just sweep you off your feet and you don't even realize where they came from, basically. And so these are all things that may happen around the full moon in Gemini because of this opposition. And what you need to be aware of around the Sagittarius and Gemini energy that is going on, this conversation between the two signs, is that sometimes we need to take action in order to get to where we want to be. So sometimes we're just pushed towards action and there is not much thinking about it, not much pondering, not much being grounded. We're just pushed into action. And so this is this moment of our process. This full moon is this moment where we're just kind of like starting to learn how to walk, and we just need to walk and fall many times before we're able to do so properly. And so there is not much of a secret to it, really. It is a learning process, a transformative one, but there is no guidelines to it. There is no right or wrong way to do it. You just have to do it. And so whether you're feeling like your environment, like for example your job, your house situation, your relationship is not working, what you're encouraged to do with all of this energy between Sagittarius and Gemini is to just explore and be present in the moment for it, and try to learn by experience. It is what is encouraged here. Additionally, when we're learning by experience, maybe we have a different experience than other people, and so what that can bring up is feelings of shutting down, feelings of not wanting to express something because nobody around us resonates or feels the same way. And so there may be this energy of we just want to feel small. And you may feel that in your own life. You just want to be quiet, be away from everybody, and not express how you feel because nobody else will resonate anyway. And so this is a really deep process that we're going through, is how can you stand in your individuality and Not allow the fact that nobody around you relates to what you feel and how you want to express yourself. Not allow that to make you feel small and to make you feel like you want to hide or not express what you feel or how you feel. This is a really big challenge and is not to be taken lightly. It is definitely something that takes way more than one day, which is going to be the full moon day, in order to work on. So don't be hard on yourself if you're not able to completely shift into the energy of really expressing yourself without feeling the judgment. And so the last interaction the full moon is going to have is going to be the square between the moon and the north node in Pisces. And so this can be, I'm not gonna lie, a little bit of a frustrating energy. It can be the energy around the fact that you have numbed yourself, not been able to express yourself, really shut yourself down, whether consciously or unconsciously, because of things that other people have said and done to you. That has created the life that you don't want. And it's furthest away from what you truly should be doing and living in your day-to-day. And that can create a lot of frustration. It can create a lot of energy that is negative, such as anger, and it can nudge you towards doing wrong or saying wrong things to other people as a result of your frustration. And so what I want to recommend with this aspect is to really journal about how you feel in terms of where you are in your journey right now. And so the journal prompt that I recommend around this aspect is: what negative or toxic communication, habit, or place you need to put an end to right now. And this is going to help guide you to see what you need to be releasing around this full moon in Gemini, and what is going to help you to express yourself more freely starting on from this point forward, in order to get to the life that you want and to remove the frustration instead of projecting the frustration towards other people in your life. That can be very detrimental to your relationships, to the mental health of others, and it is not helpful at all for both your journey and the journey of the other person that you are projecting onto. And so that is all of the energy around the full moon in Gemini. If you have any questions, let me know. For example, how that may manifest in your chart specifically, regarding your placements in your birth chart. And I will see you on my next video. Thank you so much, and I love you.